Hi, and welcome to At Home Art Lessons with the Art Groupies, where we develop great art habits. We are going to be like this guy, Observant Owen, and we're going to be that little ant walking across a piece of artwork and noticing everything. We're going to notice that this book was inspired by the famous artist Gustav Klimt. It's called The Magic Tree by Myriam Ouyessad and Anja Klauss. The magical tree. Again, Gustav Klimt. Jalil turned around. Everything was fine. No one had followed him. In a few strides, he climbed up the stairs, which led to the treehouse high above. No one could know that he was going to visit Manoa, or else he would get into a lot of trouble. In the village, people said all sorts of nonsense. To some, Manoa was just a crazy old woman who spoke to trees. But to others, to the majority, she was a witch. Jalil preferred to let them talk and keep his secret. Manoa was sitting in the center of her treehouse. She greeted Jalil with solemnity. "Today, my boy, I have chosen the box. I believe that you are ready." Usually, Jalil would pick out a box randomly amongst all the colorful ones that covered the walls of the treehouse. He would extract a seed from it, hand it to Manoa, and the woman would begin her story. She would speak of the country from which the seed had come, draw the tree that had produced it, and explain the virtues of the tree's fruit. But on this particular morning, Manoa herself handed him a box. It was white, a little bigger than the others, and Jalil had never seen it before. "Take it and open it, Jalil." Manoa's voice trembled with emotion. Inside the box there was a seed as big as a fist and as shiny as gold. "How beautiful it is!" cried out Jalil. "Where does it come from?" "This seed is a mystery. I found it in the desert. But its tree cannot be found anywhere. The tree exists only in this one and unique seed." "Why have you not planted it?" asked Jalil, intrigued. "As long as the tree is in the seed, it is safe from harm. But as soon as it sprouts, it will become vulnerable. The seed is precious and must be protected. I am too old now. Take it, it's yours. Now you will be the guardian of the unique tree." Year after year, Jalil looked after the seed as though it was the most precious of treasures. He knew that the old lady had spoken the truth. It was certainly easier to look after a seed than after a whole tree. But the day to plant the seed was coming, and Jalil had to prepare. He tamed a falcon and trained it to hunt the animals that would come close to the tree. When the bird was ready, Jalil began a journey to find his seed a home. He moved away from his village and went beyond the mountains. He felt the unique tree should be protected from the curiosity of people. After long weeks of walking, Jalil arrived in an isolated valley, crossed by a small stream. It was a perfect spot. Jalil knelt down and began digging slowly into the ground. He was thinking of Manoa, whose time on earth had ended. He would be worthy of her trust. His hand shaking, Jalil placed the seed into the ground, gently covered it, and then nourished it with clear water from the stream. From this moment on, the man and the falcon would look after the precious seed night and day. The tree grew in an extraordinary manner. After a few weeks, a large and solid trunk appeared. Then a single branch grew out of the trunk, a very long branch, from which sprouted many delicate spiraling branches. After 7 years and 7 branches, the tree stopped growing. Then its first fruit appeared. It was black and white, and it looked like an eye. When the fruit seemed ripe, Jalil picked it. He opened it carefully to look for a seed. But this type of fruit, he could find neither seed nor core, only flesh, which was juicy and fragrant. The guardian of the tree hesitated and then took the fruit to his mouth. The flavor was exquisite, incomparable. That night, Jalil ate nothing else and fell into a deep, deep sleep. Just before dawn, Jalil woke up with a start. Had he been dreaming? He rubbed his eyes to cast aside the dreams of the night. But terrified images clung to his eyelids. At first, there was a tree on fire illuminating the night. Then a river swallowed up the city and the palace of Gahar, its black waters carrying corpses amongst the debris. But there was also a face, the wonderful face of a princess, beautiful but lifeless. Jalil petted the falcon and tried to forget these dark visions. But the face of the woman reminded him, etched in his mind. The next night, a violent storm awoke Jalil. With a great crash, lightning struck an oak tree below. When he saw the tree catch fire, Jalil felt astounded. This tree was the same one he saw in his dream. Jalil was amazed, and he now understood his own tree secret. The first fruit of this unique tree allowed you to see across time. Jalil had dreamed the future. He then thought of the palace of Goron drowning in the Black River. He must warn King Argo and prevent the disaster. So Jalil had his falcon carry a message directly to the king. Only the bird could make it there in time. King Argo greeted the falcon with curiosity and read the message carefully. A strange man, probably a madman, had predicted that all of Gahar would soon drown. But Argo was a wise ruler. For the sake of the townspeople, he sent guards to inspect the river. They returned urgently to raise the alarm. A dike was about to collapse. All the men in Gahar worked together to keep it to keep the river behind its dikes. Thanks to their efforts and to the mystery messenger, the city was saved. The king now knew that the falcon's master was no madman. But who was he? Argo wanted to find out. He summoned his daughter, the princess Nastasia, to come close to him and entrust him with a mission. I want to meet the man who saved our city. His falcon will bring you to him. He claims to see the future, but I cannot believe in such a miracle. You will leave at dawn with your servant, but you will go on foot while your servant will ride your horse. If this man truly possesses some kind of power, if he is no impostor, he will know who you are. Then, and only then, will you be able to show him the gratitude of King Argo and his people. At the foot of the tree, Jaquil eagerly awaited his falcon's return. When he finally spotted the bird, he noticed it was followed by two women. The first rode a white horse and carried wealthy ornaments of gold. The second came barefooted, her hair blowing in the wind, and it was she who made Jaquil's heart leap. The princess had survived. She was even more beautiful than in his dream. Jalil fell down on his knees in front of her. In silence, he thanked the tree and its fruits for having saved her life. "Look at me," said the woman. Jalil lifted his head. Nadaji smiled. "So it seems, after all, that you are not a liar. You can truly see what others do not." She leaned down toward Jalil, raised him up, and held him in her arms. This is Gustav Klimt's pictures that he painted on cardboard. They're in Vienna, Australia. This here, the first wall, is called The Waiting. It's a woman standing near the tree of life. Notice his spirals, the falcon, and even the fruit seems to have eyes, just like the story. Then the fulfillment. Gustav Klimt believed that the tree of life was also full of love, and that's what life was all about. So Gustav Klimt and the magical tree. I hope you enjoyed it. See you again soon. Bye.